Friedrich Nietzsche gave it a brutal lesson. What doesn't kill me makes me stronger. But have you ever thought that what if someone doesn't make you weaker, but actually makes you even stronger? Have you ever met someone and felt the connection was different from the very beginning? Not just attraction, but something deeper, as if life brought you together at exactly the right moment? Think carefully. Is there a person in your life whose presence still feels strange yet familiar? Do you sometimes wonder if your meeting was just luck or something much bigger than coincidence? Pause for a second. Imagine this. What if your heart already knows the answer, but your mind keeps doubting? When two people are truly meant to be together, certain emotional signs naturally appear. But here's the real question. How many of these signs have you already ignored without realizing? The connection feels peaceful, meaningful, comforting, and hard to ignore. But let me ask you honestly, when was the last time you felt completely at peace with someone without overthinking every word? One of the clearest signs is that you met at the exact time you needed each other most. Ask yourself this. Were you broken, lost, or silently healing when it showed up? Meaningful connections often happen during periods of growth, healing, loneliness, or emotional transformation. Maybe you were recovering from heartbreak, or they were trying to rebuild their life. But here's the real test. Would you have been ready for them 6 months earlier? Probably not. That's the strange magic of timing. Somehow, despite all odds, your paths cross at the right moment, not too early, not too late. The connection enters your life when you truly need each other emotionally, bringing peace, motivation, healing, or simply understanding. But wait, have you ever felt that someone's silence heals you more than another person's 1,000 words? If yes, then keep watching, because the next signs will shock you. Even if the relationship develops slowly, there's a strange feeling that meeting them changed something inside you forever. So here's the final question before we begin. Are you brave enough to find out if that one person in your mind is actually your soul's mirror? Stay with me till the end, because what I'm about to reveal next will either give you clarity or completely change how you see your relationship. Another strong sign is that being with them feels like peace, not confusion. When two people are genuinely meant to be together, the connection brings emotional safety and clarity instead of constant stress. You don't feel confused about where you stand, and you don't spend nights overthinking their behavior. Their actions match their energy, and their effort feels genuine. Even during disagreements, there is respect and emotional stability. You feel calm and safe enough to relax, and be yourself without begging for reassurance. Real love removes emotional uncertainty. You also don't have to shrink yourself to be loved. The relationship allows both people to fully become themselves. You don't hide parts of your personality or change who you are to earn love. Instead, they naturally encourage your growth, dreams, confidence, and individuality. Around the right person, you start becoming more of yourself. When two people are meant to be together, they don't have to shrink themselves to be loved. Unhealthy relationships often make people feel emotionally small, as if they must constantly perform to remain loved. But meaningful love creates emotional freedom. You feel accepted for who you truly are, flaws included. The right person inspires you to become a better version of yourself naturally, through support and encouragement, not pressure. Another beautiful sign is that even silence between you feels meaningful. When two people truly belong together, they don't always need endless conversation to feel close. Simply being near each other is comforting enough. You can sit together quietly or drive together in silence without forcing interaction, and the connection still feels full. Their presence alone feels calming. True emotional intimacy often reveals itself in silence, that feeling of being emotionally understood, connected, and safe even when no words are spoken. When two people can genuinely enjoy each other's silence, the connection goes much deeper than surface-level attraction. Life also starts aligning in unexpected ways. Meaningful relationships often inspire positive change in both people's lives. After meeting the right person, things slowly begin falling into place emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. You become more motivated, focused, and hopeful. Opportunities appear. Old wounds begin healing, and the relationship naturally pushes both people toward growth. The connection brings alignment instead of destruction. It motivates both people to improve their lives instead of losing themselves emotionally. The right relationship creates emotional clarity, not confusion, and helps both people grow instead of holding each other back. Even during difficult seasons, the connection remains meaningful because both people continue choosing each other through growth, change, and life challenges. When two people are truly meant to be together, the connection feels deeper than temporary attraction. There's emotional safety, peace, understanding, growth, comfort, and a feeling that life brought both of you together for a reason. Now, let me answer the questions I asked you at the beginning. Remember when I asked if there's a person in your life whose presence still feels strange yet familiar? The answer is if that feeling never left. If their absence still echoes in your quiet moments, then yes, that connection was never ordinary. I asked if your meeting was just luck or something bigger. Here's the truth. Luck doesn't change you forever. A meeting meant by fate always leaves a mark on your soul. I asked, what if your heart already knows the answer, but your mind keeps doubting? Let me tell you plainly, your heart never lies. Your mind doubts because it's scared. But deep down, you already know who belongs to your story. I asked how many signs you have ignored without realizing. Look back honestly. The peace you felt, the timing that felt impossible, the silence that spoke louder than words, the way you never had to shrink yourself. Those were not small things. Those were the universe whispering that this person is meant for you. I asked, when was the last time you felt completely at peace with someone without overthinking? If that peace still lives in your memory, that person was never just a lesson. They were a blessing. I asked if you were broken, lost, or silently healing when they showed up. And if they still stayed, if they still chose you in your most broken version, then that is not ordinary love. That is the kind of love that heals generations. I asked, would you have been ready for them 6 months earlier? The answer is no, because you had to become the version of yourself that could receive them. And finally, I asked if you are brave enough to find out if that person in your mind is actually your soul's mirror. Here is your answer. Look at yourself after meeting them. Are you stronger, more honest, more alive? If yes, then stop searching. They are not just a chapter. They are your home. So don't let fear make you lose someone your soul recognized before your mind understood.